Welcome volunteers to the Santa Fe Animal Shelter Puppy Socializing Training class. First step is we have our packets here, and we're going to go over child psychology, but in this case, puppy psychology, if you will. The understanding of when puppies get their eyesight, when they develop teething or have maybe certain needs, ideas. Feel free to read through that and let me know if you have any questions. So we'll go on to the goals of puppy socializing, which are to increase the social abilities of the puppies, to help them be more interested in humans. Then 2, to prevent behavior problems stemming from early experiences, as maybe some of you have adult dogs that maybe don't like their paws touched or certain unique things that happen. Number 3, to help puppies develop appropriate social skills necessary for them to grow up as behaviorally healthy dogs. Number 4, to expose puppies to a variety of different people. That's why our volunteers, 12 to 15 with a parent or guardian, so we have some teenage-esque volunteers, even volunteers from all sorts of walks of life, all sorts of different areas, maybe even volunteered at other shelters and locations, which is very helpful. Puppy socializers must not interact with adult dogs, must be wearing clean clothes. So if you come here to the shelter, you do not go straight to the adult dogs. Even if a behaviorist is coming up to you and asking you to help with a behavior modification, to give even just a treat to a dog, you just want to state that you can maybe do it later, but currently you're going to work with puppies first. So the first thing you want to do is come into the laundry room. You will grab 4 or a good sized stack of towels, but at least 4 towels. And then when you're done with them, they will go into this dirty laundry bin. That's for any dirty clothes. The clean ones can either stay in there or bring them back and put them back into the laundry room. And the toys can be found down in these bins. And then we'll come back here for some more supplies. So in this kitchen utensils mug, you will find a little keychain. On the keychain, the biggest key is the puppy key. Then you will also grab an entire stack of gloves. So you need the whole thing of gloves because you'll have to change gloves whenever you switch to a different kennel. So before we go into the lovely puppy room, we are going to grab one more aspect of the treats for puppies. So some things were nicely cleaned over here. Usually the Cheerios can be found in here. So the Cheerios aren't just for humans, they're lovely for puppy treats too. So all we do is we unlock the door, bolt it open, and put the key right back. Now, to figure out the smallest and youngest puppies, so how would one find the age of the puppies? We look to our helpful profile cards. On these profile cards, it will literally say age. You also can check the write-up and the intake date. So if all of these kennels had 2-month-old puppies, you'd want to also use the intake date to narrow down who is actually the youngest. The main concern is disease spread, vaccine schedules. They're usually about 2 weeks apart. So one puppy might be 2.5 months, would have more vaccines than a 2-month-old. We never go actually in to the puppy kennels. We always stay outside the puppy kennels. You always must wash or hand sanitize your hands. There's a hand sanitizing station here in the puppy room. There's also a sink where you can wash your hands next to the volunteer break room. We must use towels. That's why we gathered them and all the supplies before, because we're also in the locked room instead of having to go in and out. Everything is just here. Now, some aspects to really remember. If any animal is sick, what should we do? Main concept, don't interact with that puppy or any of the animals if they are sick. Always report, but how would you know? If there were multiple puppies in the kennel and they look similar, how would you know which puppy to report? Or if there maybe is diarrhea in the kennel and you didn't see who actually pooped, you would use the pen number. And if you wanted to figure out more so who is actually who, every single animal should have a paper A collar, which is the same that matches up with their A number on their profile card. To make sure to report any lethargic behavior, so lack of energy, not acting their normal self, like a normal puppy, if you will. Diarrhea, of course, vomiting, not approaching or responding, especially to when you add Cheerios or treats into the kennel. A lack of appetite, extra skinny body, sneezing and coughing, shivering, or alone crying and whimpering. If they're kind of all crying and whimpering for you, which some of you might hear right now, they're probably just wanting attention. But if one of the puppies are alone in the corner and the other 2, 3, or 4 are in their group or they're eating or acting relatively normal, that one puppy might have something going on to report. Always make sure to go to volunteer observations email. That is very important and a lot easier for everyone to respond accordingly. Give as much detail as possible. What was going on, what you were doing, how the puppies were acting, as much detail in the email at volunteeropservations@sfhumanesociety.org. It's very helpful for us to know as much as we can to better assist the puppies as best we can, along with making sure to not interrupt behavior team in particular. Next is the step-by-step reminder of how to properly socialize and interact with the puppies here at the Santa Fe Animal Shelter. So the first thing is grabbing the chair. You will find the chairs outside here. You'll grab the socializing chair. If you're worried if it may or may not be cleaned, you can always ask animal care staff. Once you're done with the chair, you then lean it up against the wall so they know that it needs to be cleaned. After we figured out who is the youngest, in this case, almost all of these puppies are in the same litter. So we're going to choose a kennel that seems to have the more shy puppies, in my mind, is how I like to interact with the more shy ones. They then get more time, helps them out to increase their adaptability. So first, you hand sanitize your hands, and then you add gloves, then you hand sanitize again. Because the glove boxes are usually opened, therefore they're contaminated with everyone touching them, so you also want to make sure the gloves are sanitized properly too. Then you will take one towel for yourself and put it over your body, while one towel is then to be wrapped around, kind of like burrito wrapping a puppy. So that way you have one towel wrapped all the way around the puppy and one towel for protecting of your clothes and your body. Then once you sit in the chair with the puppy, you can reach over here. You do not have to actually pick up the puppy. If you can't pick them up, or they're not coming to you, or they'd rather just play with a toy, you're welcome to just hang over the side. Once you have your gloves and you've hand sanitized, you can then interact with them over the wall. Make sure once you are holding them, if they seem more relaxed, they're not trying to jump away, then you can kind of open up the towel, and you really want to pet them everywhere. Every single part of their body, in between their toes, in their belly. You just want to be very mindful of their surgical area, especially if they just had surgery. They do need some time and they cannot get that area wet. The main goal is to increase their sociability, because when they go to a vet, what is the vet going to do? He's going to open their ears, look inside, he's going to open their eyes, look at them, he's going to check every single part of their body. So if we are doing that, we're increasing their sociability and chances to have an easier vet visit in the future, hopefully. So please be aware of this sign. This is to let you know that a puppy just had surgery, and so they need an extra day to recover, maybe have a vet check on them, and make sure everything's going smoothly to recover from surgery itself. So what if a puppy won't approach you? You're trying to socialize it. That is when the Cheerios come in handy. So use the Cheerios. We do actually have toys too in the laundry room where you grab the towels. Toys are also very helpful, but treats work really well. Even if they're just eating the treats and they're having a positive interaction with you, that is one of the main goals. What if the puppy starts biting at you, or gets a little mouthy, or plays a little rough? These things will happen. They're young puppies. They don't know any better, but you can help them to understand. So we want to reward positive reinforcement, but when there's negative or maybe not the best behaviors going on, we want to make sure to acknowledge it. Say no or stop, Or even if they are biting at you, what's easier to get, a finger or a fist? Fingers are. So put your hand into a fist, that way they have less likely chance of just biting an individual finger, and say ouch. They usually will then stop biting, and they usually start licking and understand those behaviors. If the puppy is just being way too rough, way too jumpy mouthy, you can again always leave them in the kennel and just interact over the side of the kennel, or maybe take a minute break from them to help calm them down and make them realize that behavior is not acceptable. If the puppy's too big or squirming or wiggly, again, that goes back to you don't have to pick them up and try to hold them there and hold them real tight, but it does help to hold them tight if they're already in your lap. If not, just hang out in the kennel themselves. If it was a Great Dane puppy and they're practically walking out of the kennel, obviously they're going to be too big to hold, too big to put in your lap. Just hang out over the kennel. Make sure to put back your supplies, put the chair back against the door so we know that it needs to be cleaned, take everything back to where it properly was, excess towels put back into the laundry room, dirty towels into the big white bucket or right into the washing machines, and the Cheerios into the volunteer break room, and the gloves back into the maintenance closet. Thank you so much, new volunteers. Welcome to Puppy Socializing. You are now ready to be on your way to help all of our puppies be more sociable and increase their adoptability. It is great to have you on board. Thank you so much.